it's fall here in Zone 7, West Virginia, middle Appalachia. What that means, leaves are changing colors, but it's also very important time to plant your garlic. Yeah, so some of this garlic I've saved from seed. I've grown before, saved the best cloves. But this year I'm trying something different. I'm actually bought some certified organic seed garlic. Now this is Leningrad garlic from Fillory Farm, certified organic, state of Washington. So these nice cloves of garlic are a hardneck variety. Now these are ones I've planted before that I've saved. This is probably one of my better cloves. Let me see if I can get this open real quick. Ooh, it's nice plastic, so this is actually really good packaging. So this is the Leningrad. This is my home saved. So they're comparable size. So there you go. But these cloves have a nice little, looks like a nice little purple skin on them. This is mine, keep this separate. But what I like to do at this point is right before you plant your garlic, you're gonna wanna break it apart, okay? You don't do this ahead of time. You're gonna make sure that you very carefully, not really destroy the wrappers on it. That one's gonna need a little bit of work to get that apart carefully. You don't want to actually pull the skin off where the raw garlic is exposed, as it will be more prone to rotting in the field. Now, whether you use organic garlic or just garlic from your own source, makes no difference to me. However, when you break these apart, you make sure the clove is still firm. There's no disease, nothing like that on them. And these are actually very, very high quality garlic cloves. I've used this company before in the past, and they, yeah, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm afraid I might break this apart in the process of tearing it apart. But this type of garlic here is one I've saved for several years. It's a lighter color, has a little bit of purplish to it. Some of these cloves are a little bit smaller, obviously, than the certified seed garlic, but this is mine. So this comes out of cloves like this. And yeah, there you go. So a note on saving your own garlic, quote unquote, seeds. All right, first off, these are not seeds, these are just cloves. So these are going to be genetic clones of the mother plant. So if you have the idea that, you know, I'm going to save the best garlic, it's going to be adapting to my soil. Okay, that's what I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm saving it, the seeds are going to adapt to my climate. What you're actually doing is selectively cultivating and harvesting the biggest and best of these cloves. Now, when you replant them, they're going to be better plants that maybe for some reason they were more adapted. Maybe that particular garlic clove itself was just better off genetically, or it dealt with the climate better. Who knows, whatever the reasons were, but the plant itself is not adapting over time as you would as maybe a tomato or a pepper or something that's actually developing seeds that may or may not be influenced by the climate, and over time become more adapted to a region, such as a hot, humid climate versus a cool, dry climate over time through trial and error, maybe making more of a landrace type situation there. But garlic will not adapt, in my opinion, unless you somehow collect the seed of garlic and you crossbreed them and you develop something, which is pretty much not going to happen for the average home gardener. That's going to be more of a commercial thing or a agriculture department, something like that. But let's go ahead and stop talking. Let's get over here to the garlic patch right behind you, and let's go ahead and get these planted today. So now that our garlic cloves are broken apart, as this piece of land right here that I've plowed up a little bit, I cultivated, I hoed it up, got the weeds and stuff out of it, added a little bit of compost soil. There's 2 bags back there, which is not much, but it's what I had on me at the time. So I went ahead and made some rows for the garlic. Now you should plant your garlic about, I say about 4 inches deep. You're gonna need to put about 4 inches apart. You don't want to plant them too closely, as it's gonna kind of rob nutrients and water, which garlic does need quite a bit of water and high organic matter. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and plant the garlic here in these rows, cover it back up, and then, because it is fall, the end of the season, I'm gonna get the mower, put the bagger attachment on it. I'm gonna collect a bunch of what's left of the grass clippings and some leaves I can find. And we're gonna put a nice layer of mulch over the garlic to kind of put it to bed and kind of keep that moisture in. So timing the garlic The reason why I'm doing it today is because we're supposed to get an inch of rain tomorrow. It has been exceptionally dry this year, not quite as bad as last year, which was the worst drought in 40 years here in Appalachia. But this year, it was the lushest, wettest May I think we had in 20 some years. And then it rained nice and green through June, got to about the mid-July, and it stopped. Okay, it did not rain in July, August, September, or even, I think it's rained once in October. We've had almost no rain since the middle of July. The ground is dry, okay, which is actually good for planting garlic because it doesn't want to sit in wet, soggy, waterlogged kind of soil. So let's go ahead and get over here to the garden, this little plot here. We're going to plant this garlic out and talk about a little bit of fall care you need to do for your garlic to ensure that it is successful and ready to go for the spring. So enough talking, let's get working. So it's also important to make sure if you're planting garlic for the first time, this is the part right here where the roots will develop from the garlic clove, okay? And the plant will actually grow from this side. So if you've never planted garlic before, plant it like this. I like to just kind of nestle it in about a fist apart like that. And when it's all planted, we're gonna kind of fill these rows back in and cover it up. So just basically do that all down the row. This one here, this is actually 2 cloves, but they actually did not have a good separation between the two. So by pulling it apart, you're going to expose the nice actual like garlic like you eat, right? So you don't want that part to be exposed, at least if you can help it, that it's going to rot more in the rain, in the wet clay like we have here. So this is the Leningrad variety. So I'm going to plant this here separately and actually put something here to indicate what it is. So I wanted to see this as a little trial to see how well this does against my my saved garlic that I've had for, gosh, about 5 years, I think. I don't even remember the variety it was. One year I bought like 5 or 6 different heirloom type garlics, and it was the best one that performed. So I just kept saving the seeds from it. I could probably, by process of elimination, maybe if I find some information, I don't remember quite honestly which one that was that I got. But it's done well for me, so I've just kept using it. So there, that's the Leningrad variety. I need to, for right now, I'm going to mark it with this little bag that it came in, just to make sure I keep that separate. And then just this little stick, use what you have, doesn't need to be too overly complicated. Right now, let's put this little stick right here. That's going to be a marker of where that variety stops. And I'm just going to get busy and put the rest of this garlic again in the ground. It's always best to use the biggest cloves you can find as well. So always use the biggest cloves first, which will lead to bigger garlic heads or heads of garlic or whatever come harvest time. So I'm gonna keep doing this and I'll come back and talk to you in a minute. Now that all the garlic is planted, I have 2 single rows and 1 double row planted over here as an experiment, which I also will always tell you guys every year, do an experiment, whether it be planting corn in a different way, using a different type of organic fertilizer, planting sooner, planting later, planting a different variety. Always be experimenting in the garden, which is why I told you I use that new Leningrad variety of hardneck garlic to compare with the saved garlic I've been using for several years now. See how they do in this climate, because not all garlics are going to do well everywhere, right? So if it does great, save it. If it's not really a big success, I can move on and try something next year. Always save a little space for experimentation in your garden. But like I mentioned, garlic is a heavy feeder. So right now the garlic is planted, and albeit not quite 4 to 6 inches deep, because what I'm going to do is in the next couple of days, it's going to rain really hard, like I said, tomorrow. Thankfully, hopefully it gets the soil nice and soaked down. Then I'm going to go through the rows and put a nice 2 to 3 inch layer of compost all the way down on all of these rows, okay? Just kind of get it soaked in there. Let the compost kind of act as a mulch as well as a fertilizer and soil amendment. And then, as you can tell over here, this little pile of grass clippings we've started to collect right here, which will continue to pile on. Once these are nice and dry, because you don't want to put wet grass clippings on your garlic beds. So once these are nice and dry, probably 1st of December around here, when it starts getting really cold, all the leaves are gone, the grass is completely dormant, everything's just, set in for that winter season. Then I will then put the grass clippings as nice heavy mulch on top. And yes, you can use shredded leaves if you have that available, absolutely. make sure they're chopped up. Don't want to rake just whole leaves on there just for that. And what that's going to do is keep a little bit of moisture and warmth of the soil. It's going to tuck it in, get the garlic nice and off to a great start in the spring. So when the garlic comes up in the spring, there are very specific things you must do and not do. However, we'll have to wait till spring before I make that video, because you don't realize I make all these things in real time as they go on. So I don't pre-script things, I don't do things. Today was the day I'm planting garlic. I brought you along with me, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Until then, we're going to get back to working, get some of this fall cleanup started this evening before, like I said, before it starts raining. It sounds like a war zone around here. These giant black walnuts are falling off the trees onto the metal roof, and it just sounds like a loud bang every time something goes off. So it keeps you on your toes. You never know what might happen around here. But yeah, it's just a small little experimental garlic patch. Next year, it's obviously going to be much more expanded. I might put it in a different spot, but again, this was just starting off, so I like to start small and then scale up. There's a couple spots I'm looking at behind the camera here. You can't see, but there's I think one spot here and probably over there that in the springtime might actually get dug up as well. Those look pretty nice little flat, you know, relatively speaking spots. But yeah, there you go. That's planting garlic. A little bit of tips, a little bit of advice out here on Zone 7 up on the Appalachia. Get back to work. See ya.